And so it is. Isn't that a wonderful thing to know? It's even a more wonderful thing to be consciously expressing. And regardless of what your situation is right now, it's a situation. It's not your truth. And regardless of what you're thinking right now, whether it's on this side of life or that side of life, it's only a thought. It doesn't have to remain. It doesn't have to be permanent. All things are passing. All things change it. Alone God doesn't. And alone God is sufficed. That's what the great Saint Teresa of Avila used to tell herself. She used to say, let nothing disturb you, nothing affright you. All things are passing. Alone God never changes. Patience gains all things. We all have our own favorite go-to mantras. So what is yours? And if you don't have your favorite mantra, be open to receiving one. Don't make one up right now. Just sit quietly sometime and just be open to what your mantra might be, because they do change, because the mantra will be whatever is best going to assist you right now. And then when you have that down pat, you go into the silence again and you allow yourself to listen and get another one, and so on. Because all things passes. Everything changes. You and me included. But we're knowing that we are changing along the path of promotion, along the path of advancement, along the path of upward, forward, and onward. That's what we need to know. And yes, is it easy to know this when we're all feeling well? Yes. When we're all feeling good? Yes. When everything's going our way? Yes. But rarely do we do it when those things are happening. It is only when we're challenged that we wake up and say, yes, but I have available to me that which will help me through this. And then you go into the quiet, you listen, and you get what you need in the moment. This is very, very challenging in the face of pain, physical pain. Physical pain is in your face, it demands your attention. Nevertheless, through the pain, even if you're crying out the invitation, do it anyway. Because remember, everything is heard and everything is responded to. Tell the truth to yourself, and the truth will be revealed. Raymond Charles Barker said, this is the one time when you get to lie, 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 until the lie becomes the truth. So in the throes of pain, whether it's emotional or mental or physical or spiritual, you state the way you want it to be. Whether you believe it or not, whether you think it or not, whether you feel it or not, you state it anyway. Throw enough of those statements at the fan of the divine, and it will begin to stick and come right back at you. And you will be in a whole different way of being. Why am I saying this? Because all things are possible in spirit, that's why. But a faith has to be deep, and a faith has to be strong to allow ourselves to experience that. And remember what Emmett Fox always used to say, there is nothing in the world or anywhere else that enough love cannot heal. You bring love to any challenge, but it has to be pure love. And the challenge will be no more. So in order for that to happen, you and I need to be in practice, spiritual practice every day and throughout the day. Now people think this is a chore. It's not. People think this is drawing aside and going into meditation or drawing aside and going into some spiritual practice, drawing aside and just waiting for the impossible to happen. It's not that. You can do this on your feet. You can do this in the marketplace. You can do it wherever you are. It just requires a pause, a pause, a pause, a pause, a purposeful pause. And to go into a purposeful pause, the beginning thing you do is breathe. You just breathe deeply. For no reason at all, you just take a big deep breath and you breathe. And then you move into, I'm going to breathe in lifefulness and I'm going to breathe out lifefulness. I'm breathing in lifefulness, I'm breathing out lifefulness, or whatever it is that moves you to breathe into you in order to help you in the situation that you're being challenged by. It's really bread and butter stuff. It's so much a bread and butter situation that we just avoid the bread and butter. Can't be that simple, it can't be that easy, it can't be whatever. And besides, I don't like bread and butter. Whatever the excuse is not to follow the impulse that you will feel when you are open to assistance from your higher essential self. It needs to be invited. Court the presence, all of the saints has said. Why would we court the presence? Because the presence is always courting you. The problem comes from not courting back. In other words, invite the presence into your awareness, invite the presence into your life, invite the presence into the situation, and trust it to be the medicine you need in order for whatever type of healing you need. Trust it. In all things, trust, trust. As I say, even when the feeling is not there, it will come. I love Florence Scovel Shinn's suggestion for I cast the burden upon the Christ within and I go free. In one of her books, she shares that affirmation. Whatever it is, I cast this burden upon the Christ within and I go free. And remember, Christ is not a person. Christ is a power, it's a presence, it's an energy. Christ existed a long, long time before the wondrous, amazing Christ of Jesus came on earth. I cast this burden upon the Christ, the power, the presence within me, and I go free of it. And in the beginning, you may just be crying it out in desperation, but if you keep it up, you'll soon be stating it with that open receptivity to know this is real and this does work when I'm one with the flow. I cast this burden upon the Christ within and I go free. I relax, I release, I let go the burden because I cast it upon the Christ within and I go free. I share this often, and the reason why I do is because it absolutely, truly works. But in the beginning, it's like anything else. Somebody learning to play the violin, not pleasant. But when they persist in their practice, very soon beautiful music emerges from their effort, from their consistency of practice, from their stick-to-itiveness, even when they felt like throwing the thing away. Spiritual practice is the very, very same. You have to stick to it. You have to be consistent with it. You have to be regularly in tune with it. You can do it anywhere you are. You can do it however you feel. There is no barrier to you and your good, except thinking and feeling makes it so. Now, you are your own best and greatest coach. You have to become masterful in your life at taking care of your needs. Masterful in your life. And you can. You have to come to the moment in your life when you say, you know what? I am sick and tired of all of the time thinking everybody else has the answer, or that the answer is somewhere out there. I'm going to trust the source within myself and know that that is the answer to every question I might have. And that is the solution to every problem I may encounter. I need to step into my own sovereignty. I need to step into my own ability to know and feel that I have this. I can handle this. This is just a temporary incapacitating thing that's come to me for some reason I don't know yet. But I'm not going to be floored by it. I'm not going to bow down before it. I am not going to give in to it. I'm going to stand tall. And I am going to say, like that wonderful, very young assistant in Michael's one Christmas, when I approached her, and I've said this before, with my 2 huge overspilling baskets of goods. Some other people would look at that and groan. She looked at that and she said, bring it on, with a smile on her face. It was a wonderful lesson for me. You never know where your lessons are going to come from or from whom they're going to come from. But you can do life, I'm telling you. You can do life, whatever your life is at the moment, you can do life and you can do it well. You have to want to. You have to feel you can. You have to strive like you can. You have to think like you can, feel like you can, and do like you can. That's how you do it. There's no rosy glow over it. It's not very romantically, spiritually speaking. It's work. It's common sense. It's stick-to-itiveness, and it's always showing up. I think it's Danny DeVito once said, that success. He agreed with what had been stated before, is 80% perspiration and 20% inspiration, not his original thought. And that's why he said, I show up for every part they're advertising. If it's for a 6'4" tall, other culture male, I'll show up anyway. And I'll say, you know what, I know you had that in mind, but I could do that really well. You'll be surprised. And that's how Danny got to be the great success that Danny is, because Danny believed in himself. Do you believe in you? Do you believe in you and your ability to flourish and to thrive? Do you believe actually that you're entitled to do that? And your entitlement does not come from anything in the material world. Your entitlement comes from a much greater source than anything that's in the material world. You've been made in the image and in the likeness of the power of the essence of the energy of the infinite intelligence that created you. And you are like unto it in your soul, in your spirit. So that power is available to you. And nobody didn't get an iota, not a tad more than anybody else, even though it would look like that. Because it has nothing to do with how much you have been given. It has everything to do with how much you will allow yourself to reveal. Because life on the spiritual side of life is always full and complete and whole. It's always there. The portal is in you to open yourself up to letting it out. See, everybody thinks, not everybody, but too many of us think that whatever good it is we want, we have to get it from out there somewhere. It has to come to us from out there. And it's the complete reverse. Whatever good you want in your life, I want in my life, I have to let it out from me because it's already with me. Open the portal and out it comes. Now this all sounds maybe, to some, too good to be true. Well, whatever it sounds like, it's the truth that sets us free. And each one of us will have our own experience of how we're going to release that energy and let it flow out from us as a blessing, as a grace, as an empowerment, as an upliftment, as an advancing energy for all of life. And not feel smug about it when we can do it to any degree. Because as Jesus reminds us, hey, listen, bucko, it's not you that's doing it. It is that power, that essential essence of grace and wisdom and knowledge and understanding within you that comes to and through you from the One. You are simply its outlet. You are just its outlet. Now, you are supplied. Your storehouse is full. It's up to you to open the door, release, and send out that good. So each and every one of us is a delivery room for all the good there is to be experienced. Incoming grace, outgoing grace. But you are in charge of what happens in that delivery room. Some of us like to stack things up, save them for something or another. But you know what? There's plenty more where that came from. You would be amazed, and so would I, that every time we release something, an opportunity for something better comes to us and through us. So how are you doing, my dear one? And I like to speak to each one as an individual. How are you doing? What's going on with you? Are you okay? Are you taking good care of your mind, of your emotion, of your body, of your soul? Because that's what we have to do in order for the body of our affairs to be all that we would like it to be. We're here to help any way we can, to help you to be the best outlet of life, grace, beauty, love, all that is good and whole and wholesome, as best we can. We're here to help each other. No one has the monopoly. No one has the monopoly of grace, inspiration, wisdom, and so on. Those that seem to have more than we have are only people who are more in tune with it and have worked on themselves to be in tune with it and are in cooperation with letting it flow. That's all. So you can always hold your head high. Nobody got an iota of anything more than you did when you came into this life. Everything is available to you. The kingdom of heaven is within, the great teacher said. And the kingdom of heaven is simply the kingdom of consciousness. It's the kingdom of divine consciousness. It is to do with the other aspect of yourself, the divine aspect of yourself. But unfortunately, the humanity of us, the human aspect of ourselves, seems to rule the roost all the time for most people. And we forget about the infinity of wisdom and grace that lies within, that seeks to be expressed through you and through me. So anytime that you and I sit down and harbor any sense of victimhood, poor me, oh my goodness, look at my life, it's not fair, poor me, that's you forgetting that you are a sovereign, masterful, capable being, no matter what the circumstances are. You can, like the prodigal son, pick yourself up, come to your senses and say, I will return to my former state of being in the house of my Father. My goodness me, will we ever learn? These stories have been with us since, time immemorial. And yet, we're still trying to figure them out. And there's not one hard word in that story that any one of us cannot understand. Get up off your spiritual derriere, it says. Stop feeling sorry for yourself. Pick yourself up, shake yourself off, and start all over again, says the song that is full of wisdom. Oh, easy for you to say, Dr. Moira. If you knew what I'm going through. Let me tell you something. Every single one of us on this planet is going through something at some time or another. No one gets out of here scot-free. Everyone is challenged. To what? To get in touch with the true essence inside of ourselves and to set it free. That's how you and I come to ourselves as the prodigal did. That's how we come home to ourselves as the prodigal did. And his life was better than ever. But you have to face the brother inside of yourself who says, well, it ain't fair, I tell you. I mean, I'm killing myself here, working my fingers to the bone for this household. And my Father, who has never done this for me, kills the fatted calf for the feast, brings the best robes, the best sandals, the wonderful ring for his finger, and acts as though God itself has visited. It's not fair, I tell you. There's that in us too, when we compare and contrast ourselves to other people. Also, the Father is you and me as well. The Father, the all-wise one who sees through it all. The all-wise one who rejoices in somebody's redemption and knows it's worthy of celebration. And assures the son, listen, son, I've always loved you, you know I always love you, you're always with me, you always will be with me, blah, 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 blah. But he's not feeling it, is he? Because he's just jealous of the son. So I would say to us all today, rise up, get yourself together, pull your wits about you, give thought to what is good in your life, what you can count as a blessing, brush yourself off and start all over again. But this time knowing, darn it, in spite of my small egoic self, I'm going to be the best of myself, the greatness of myself, the fullness of myself, the wholeness of myself. And I am definitely going to reform, reshape myself so that I will not waste one single solitary precious moment of my life on this planet. And I will live it to the full, so that when I come to the end of my days, I will have taken that cup of life and I will have drunk it to its very last drop and then say, that was good and very good. Now on to the more. That's the thought for today, and it wasn't the one I had planned to share. I love when that happens. So, my dear ones, we are going to bless ourselves now and thank ourselves and Spirit who provides for the good in our lives as we take our gift and we hold our gift in our blessing hands and we say with all our heart, I know that divine love consecrates my gift. It goes forth to heal, to bless, to prosper all those who give and all those who receive. I rejoice in the sharing of my good, and I release my gift with love. And so it is. And so you are, love in expression. And I want to thank you from that powerful energy of the heart for all the times you have overcome when maybe everybody else around you thought you couldn't. For all the times you've had good thoughts, good feelings, done good deeds. For all the times that you have made a difference. You showed up and you made the difference. I want to thank you deeply for that and salute you for that. For that is why we are here, to help each other, support each other, and to honor spirit in each other, no matter what. Let us know that one day all of us will be healed enough to see beyond appearances, stop all the judgments, and just bless and honor the divine in every single person that crosses our path. That's the way we're going to heal the world. That's the way we're going to create a new world, a better world for our children and their children and the generations to come. Thank you for helping to keep the legacy of this center intact for the generations to come. And remember, even though you might be imagining or picturing an empty room today, there are actually 4 of us in the room today, and it feels so full, I cannot tell you. I've never, ever stood in this room and it be empty. It's always been full, filled with loving energy, prayerful energy, healing energy. You are awesomely powerful beyond anything you might imagine. And I say that greatly to those of you who are really feeling low for whatever reason. Let the energy in you rise up. Let it move through you in an integrated way and bring about the healing you so desire. For you are here not to waste one single moment, but to fill every single moment with your fullness and your goodness and your joy and your beautiful service. One day, maybe, if we're fortunate in this life, we'll understand a little bit about what a difference we're here to make. And eventually we will know. So thank you for every good thing. And remember, we're here for you, but you've got to reach out. We cannot do a thing unless we know what your need is. Please stay connected and stay in touch. And please keep the patience now as we finalize our preparations for a reopening. I cannot tell you how all of us here are so jazzed at the whole idea of us all coming together again. We really cannot wait until our doors are open wide and we can all be in community together again and rebuild something fantastic and wonderful, better than ever before, because of our experience and the wisdom we have gained through this challenge of COVID. You are immense. You are significantly important to this process of healing, growth, and the creating of a new paradigm for planet Earth, that all may live and prosper and be well, and that we would be part of assisting this new birth that I can feel is close to happening. So know you're loved. Know that you are deeply cherished. And until we meet again, as the little ones would salute when they're off and about their next best thing. And so it is.